Hello, guys. Welcome back to another episode of the Scaling Brokerage Podcast. Today, Elton has been kind enough to bless us with some of his time, share some of his experiences in real estate. Being with Remax and having over 25 years of experience, I'm sure have quite a few stories, of different real estate transactions, things that have happened over there in Ohio. So tell us a little bit about yourself, Elton.
So, like you said, I've real estate broker, been in the business 25 years. I've been a broker for just a little over half of that. And I decided to I started my career in real estate because I was kind of at a pivotal point in my life, and I was looking for something that I would enjoy doing. So I started exploring myself and trying to figure out really what I think I would enjoy doing. And real estate was one of those choices that I had a long time. I had put a lot of thought into. So that was one of the pathways. The other was counseling. But one of the things that I didn't realize is that I get to do both in this market. So anyway, I ended up getting into real estate and just very passionate about what I do. And now as a broker, passionate about helping others do and achieve the same thing.
That's awesome. Hey, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. I'm sure the agents underneath you there, I'm sure they can, appreciate that, it's helping them, strive to not just be a good agent, but also, take that next step in their career if that's something, they want to as well. And tell us a little bit about, I know you mentioned getting started 25 years ago, we've gone through, the 08, crash and everything that happened 08 until 09, COVID and NAR more recently. Tell us a little bit about what are some of the struggles that you faced along the way, Alan?
I would say right around that time would be the first kind of eye opener that, hey, there's some real roadblocks out here. And that was in 07 for me, where I was typically doing around 40 to 50 transactions as a solo agent. And from 2006, which was the peak of my career, there was just a little over 50 transactions. And 2007, that crashed to about 17 transactions the following year. And so then I had to pay attention to what was going on. So I kind of adapted by embracing the change. So I got into doing foreclosures. I reached out some banks and asset managers and built some relationships with those. So I was able to help them unload some of their assets, picking up buyers in the meanwhile. And then I also went out and got special designations, the CDPE, which is Certified Distressed Property Expert training that really helped me master the skills of doing short sales. And then I would go out and I would reach out to people that may be struggling to keep up with the mortgage, and then give them options to either sell the house outright, to enter into some of the other options. And last but not least, if they were unable to keep the home, then we would discuss a short sale strategy. So that was the first big change that I kind of went through.
Awesome. I hear that's awesome. And it speaks volumes, to being able to adapt, when things aren't necessarily going, the way we want them to, maybe, learning some new skills and finding a new avenue in real estate, which, there can be so many, it can really pay off for us, in the short term, in the long haul. But that's awesome that you were able to kind of adapt with, what was, with our production and, real estate and whole just being down, they were able to adapt and find a way to kind of fill the void there.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
That's
and
awesome.
I don't think the attitude changed either as we advance up to where we are today. Again, August 17th of 2024, we ran into some significant changes with the needs of buyer agreements and things like that, which for me, that becomes an opportunity for me to be able to really jump out here and show that I'm a true professional. So buyer's agreements, I've been doing that for the last 15 years anyway. So that was nothing new to me. But just being able to go out and polish out all the things that I've, all the systems and things that I've got created over the years, and put a better package together and get out here and do what we do. And that's just help people with buy and sell of real estate.
That's awesome. Hey, that's the name of the game, right?
Yeah.
I love it. Well, tell us a little bit about, do you guys do anything as far as like marketing, as far as, helping, get the brokerage out there, kind of building the brand at all?
Yeah, and when it comes to that, I do this. Is number one, Remax is one of the most recognizable brands
Oh yeah.
in the industry, and that's what they do. They're a brand, and they do a very great job at marketing it and keeping the brand top of mind. So I just kind of tie into I just kind of get in the coattail of that. They kind of got that momentum good, so I grasp onto that. As far as local, we use a lot of social media, Facebook, Instagram primarily. We do Google ads, Facebook advertising. So mostly digital side of the marketing thing. But overall, I think the biggest strategy that we use as far as growing the business is I try to get the agents focused on the basics of real estate. There's so many distractions out here right now, and you have to do this and you have to do that. And in my opinion, most agents have not really mastered the basic skills that's necessary for them to be able to perform at a high level. And so we spend a lot of time with our agents focusing on getting them to a mastery level of basics. And what that entails is picking up the telephone and calling people. I hear all this stuff about technology, this and technology that. The greatest piece of technology for our business was created in 1876, and we've still not done a great job at mastering that. So I try to get the people used to the telephone, time blocking, picking up the telephone, calling people, building relationships with people. It's not a transaction business, it's a relationship business. And if you can truly put the focus on relationships over transactions, the transactions are a byproduct of the relationships that we establish.
Absolutely, absolutely, and definitely. I mean, we put off a different feeling to our clients, to our potential clients. When they're not just another notch on the belt. We really have their best interests in mind and are really looking out for them. It definitely goes a long way, and building that bridge, and then bringing friends and family and everyone they can across it. But I absolutely agree with you on the cell phone part as well. Picking up the phone down. There's not anything bad that can really happen to you on the phones, but there's a lot of good that can come out of it, most definitely.
Correct. I mean, there's several avenues that an agent or broker can choose to go from. I mean, we have there's a marketing approach, and again, in my opinion, marketing typically comes at a high dollar and has a pretty low return. There's also the paid approach where you can buy leads and things like that, and now that falls into a bucket where it's high cost and little return as well. And then there's the prospecting approach, and that's where you just pick up the telephone and kind of reach out, have conversations with people, and build off of that. And so I kind of look at it in this manner. I look at there's about four major kind of things when it comes to the success of a real estate salesperson. Number one is an agent to succeed and perform at a very high level need to first be able to they need to first be able to self-generate leads. Okay, so they have to have a system in place for self-generating leads. That agent must also have a system in place on converting leads. So once someone's interested in buying or selling, what's your process? What questions do you ask? How do you get them enrolled in your system? And then after that, then the agent must service the leads. And that means servicing people at a high level. Where it used to be about service, but now it's about experiences. So what can I do to make sure that the experience of working with me or my brokerage or one of my agents is different than working with anybody else? And so I think an agent must have a clear understanding of that. Once they service the client, there's an opportunity for them to leverage off of that relationship and off of the sale. And so when it comes to marketing, my marketing plan does not exist at the lead generation part. My marketing plan is actually on the people that we've already done business with, right? So we market back to them, which gives a greater return than marketing to people that you don't know. And then that leads to more repeat and referral and more new business.
Absolutely. I know that, retargeting those, those warmer leads per se, or those leads that, we've made those good interactions or taken care of in the past. Definitely goes a long way. Much better than just sending someone that, has never heard of us, doesn't know the name.
Absolutely.
Awesome. And when I know you mentioned being with Remax, they have a lot of things, set in place for you guys and helping to attract, having the brand name. Do you do anything on your own side? Like, do you do anything to attract agents to the brokerage there, or does it kind of just take care of itself?
Yeah, the same thing that I focus on from the sales strategy on that sales cycle that I just kind of went over. It's the same thing for recruiting. It's building relationships with agents. I don't look to recruit. I look to build relationships, and building that relationships consists of just caring for people and taking care and being a resource for people before we actually look at what a relationship would look like, and then actually taking care of them during the process. And that's where my retention comes in. And then if someone leaves and it was a great experience and it's one that I think I let get away from me, then I kind of put them back in my system, and I start keeping in touch with them. And a lot of times people that have left have come back.
That's awesome. I know, and it speaks volumes. The grass isn't always as green as we may think it is on the other
Absolutely.
side. When we take care of those agents and do what you say, it really speaks volumes when they, go somewhere else and notice that, it's not always maybe what they thought it may be.
Right.
And coming back to, obviously, speaks volumes to what you're doing and how well you're doing it.
Absolutely. I mean, rarely do we have a good agent that leave. I actually think I've only went through one cycle of that where 5 agents had left, and 3 of them came back in 3 weeks, 3 months. The other ones came back. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Sweet. I mean, do you do anything as far as I know you mentioned like Remax take care of kind of most of the brand building attraction. Do you do anything like yourself? Like, do you post on Facebook or like just curious? Do you do anything like that? Like, do you spend your time there?
Yeah. So I mean, I do post on Facebook. Personally, I'm not huge on getting out there. I only go on Facebook maybe once a week in general. But I do have staff members that go out there and they keep all that going for me and for my agents. So every time there's a new listing, then we make sure that we promote those. Every time there's a sale or back on the market or open house or things like that, we go out and we post those things. But again, that's kind of on automatic for me and my agents. When the staff post it, they share it with the agents, and then the agents can share that with their friends and on their pages. So that's kind of how I do that.
Nice. That's awesome. Awesome.
I do send out occasionally. I have some informational pieces that I'll post. But one of the things I always tell my agents when it comes to the social media is it should be part of everyone's marketing plan to do the same things online as what we're doing on land.
Yeah.
And so it's always been a big thing to do or to send out postcards once you do that. So I still send postcards. I still door knock. I still cold call, and I do those same things online, such as Just Listed, Just Sold, and so forth. And that sometimes that creates inquiries that I'm able to follow up with and build relationships with. The meat of the whole business is based on those relationships that you have in your database and being able to have something in place to properly manage those people and reaching out and talking to people. So a lot of times when it comes to a lead, you get somebody initially, and most agents give up after they find out the person's not ready to buy right then. And that happens, but those people that are not ready to buy right then it doesn't mean that they're not going to buy. It just means it's not the right time. The average person takes about 2 years or starts looking for a home about 2 years before they're actually ready to actively start looking. So that's a long time to build relationships with people.
Yeah.
But you will get people occasionally that's going to be ready to buy off the top. And those are the few people, but the majority of the sales is going to be built off of those long-term relationships that come up over time.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. And following up, people checking in on them, seeing how they're doing, how, family's doing. It goes a long way. Cause you're absolutely right. I can speak from personal experience, looking for a house for, quite a while before actually making a decision is definitely something that happens quite a bit.
Right. Absolutely.
And then, and I know just from, putting numbers into different sites, things like that, and loans, they usually typically is, a couple of weeks of, heavy calls, and then it kind of cuts off after that.
Right. Absolutely. And the whole searching I mean, when people are online, I figure they're looking for two reasons. Number one, they want to see inventory, and the other is they're looking for information. And so what I try to do is capture those people and become their source of information and their source of inventory.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Hey, and that's the best way to, keep a running relationship, in real estate is, being their guide for, whatever they need.
Absolutely.
But it's awesome. Awesome. Well, tell us a little bit about what does the future look for you guys, look like for you guys, I should say there. I know it's 2025 is rolling out pretty quick here already, through the first quarter. Say we're heading into 2030, 5 years from now. What would you like to look back and see yourself have accomplished there?
I think profitability is a big thing for agents. I mean, if the agents are going to last, they have to be profitable.
Absolutely.
For the brokerage to last, we have to be profitable. And so a lot of times in our industry, we hear a lot of talk about gross commission income, but gross does not change our lives. So I try to get people focusing on net income over gross income. I mean, when it comes to recruiting, one of the biggest challenges is that there's a lot of competitors that are out there that have these high commission, low monthly expense model. And the thing is that where I went to school, 0 from 0 still equals 0. I mean, some of these offices that have over 60% of their agents that don't have that did not have a sale last year. Actually, nationally, it's been up in the high 60s last year of people that did not have a single sale. And that's just not acceptable at my broker. I don't allow my agents to fail like that. And so there's those models out there, but what happens is most of those agents are focusing on their gross income. And you may be able to pay me more, but if you're netting more, then your life gets the benefit out of that higher net than what you're able to get on the discount models. So instead of looking at that from a brokerage standpoint, I'm looking at my gross or my net income per agent. And that's how I gauge myself versus my competition, is that number has to be greater than my competition's number. And we do that in units sold and commission earned and all that. We exceed our competitors by quite a bit.
I love it. I love it. And it speaks volumes. Like I said before, we're definitely doing something right. Have the agents motivated and have them, happy. They're producing, like you mentioned before, with building relationships is going to be a byproduct.
Yeah.
All the tools and yeah.
I mean, really looking down the road, I am looking into a lot of AI stuff. I know there's a lot of good talk and bad talk about it. I do use AI a little, but I feel that anything that you can automate for the good is great for your business. I mean, my personal database is over 27,000 people, and there's no way that I would be able to stay in touch with those people every single month without automations. And those they start coming back and they start buying at later points. I think the longest was about 7 years. A lady that I've never personally spoke with called me back and said, "Hey, I'm looking to buy a house in your area. You've been sending me listings and communicating with me for the past 7 years. And we're finally ready to transact." And we helped them get into a home. And so that was 7 years of managing this relationship. And it was all through automation.
Absolutely. And it goes a long way, staying in front of people, staying, constant in their mind. If we just sent them the one email and it disappeared for 7 years, I'm sure, she would have found somebody else or found another way to,
right,
in touch with the realtor, whatever she needed. But it goes a long way, and staying in front of someone and staying, top of mind, essentially, can really help us be there for, when they are ready.
Absolutely.
That's awesome. But no, I love the plan, love the vision for you guys over there. Lastly, one of the things I want to touch on is some advice for new brokerage owners. So someone getting started, it could be independent, could be affiliated, Remax, anyone you'd like. What would be your advice to someone, just getting started in today's market as a brokerage owner?
Yeah, so I think the first thing is making sure that you want to be a broker. I mean, this is something that you have to do, and you have to be committed. You have to be fully committed. And committed doesn't mean going or giving up because things get challenging. There's a lot of challenges in this career, even as an agent. Well, that amplifies times the number of agents that you have. So for
Okay.
example, my office exists of about 70 agents. And so I'm 70 times more concerned about challenges than I am about about if I was continuing to just be an agent. And so commitment would be the number one thing. Is make sure that you're fully committed and understand that if you become a broker and you're going to be good at it, that either is going to take away or eliminate your ability to be as successful as a sales agent. And I think there should be a lot of focus on profitability and how you're going to get there when it comes to that, and having a strong business plan as a roadmap to help you get there. But I think commitment is the main thing, because there's a lot of challenges out here.
Absolutely. Absolutely. No, and that, in any industry, I think that goes, hand in hand with, being committed to, what we're doing and what we're doing day to day.
Right.
It's hard to put our best foot forward, or, make those good interactions with, potential members, potential friends, clients, whatever it may be.
Right.
If we're not, where we need to be.
I also think you have to understand, where's your brand going to come from? I mean, what's your brand image? I mean, which is one of the things that I do like and enjoy about RE/MAX. And I'm not just saying that that's the only, there's a lot of other great brands out there as well that are big known brands. There's a lot of independents that I've seen that have created great brands as well. And so it doesn't matter, but starting out new, you don't have a brand. Yeah. And so you either need to connect with the brand or do a great job at creating that exposure for you and your company, because you got to get that brand going. I know sometimes people say brand doesn't matter, but it does matter. I mean, you look at the Fortune 500 companies, well, most of those are brand companies. And anybody that says that brand doesn't matter is not really looking at a thorough business plan, because one of the main things that you have to accomplish as a successful company is creating that brand image.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Which, I mean, you guys are one. I mean, your brand is out there, and I see you, I've watched you, I've worked with you guys. You do a great job on the independent level of creating your brand. Yeah. I know your logo when I see it.
I appreciate that. And it goes a long way, like I was going to mention, even being independent, you still, as much as some people may say they don't want to, you still have to create your brand. Right. Whether it's for the best of your interest, for the best of your agent's interest, and whatever it may be. But having a recognizable name, image, likeness, whatever it may be that you can get people to kind of, stick to,
right.
It goes a long way. And, making people feel more comfortable with us, making people understand, and you maybe learn a little bit more about us in the process. So yeah, it definitely goes a long way. And I appreciate you saying that as well.
So last bit of advice is making sure that they understand what their, I say MVBBE is: missions, visions, values, beliefs, and expectations. And so you got to really take some time on developing what that is, because everything else for your organization should be built up around that. And a lot of people don't take the time to plan. And I think planning is a key aspect to running a successful brokerage.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I know exactly how many agents I need to reach my goals. I know how many sales each of those agents need to have. I know what I'm going to do to help those agents achieve those goals. So you got to have a strong plan.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Just on a day-to-day model. I mean, not having a plan in, our day-to-day life and in day-to-day work of prospecting leads, building our, farming our leads.
Right.
Even just that can be, detrimental to us.
Absolutely.
No, can't agree with you more though. Having a plan and structure in place is what almost everybody needs.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, Elton, it's been an awesome podcast. I really appreciate you coming out and spending some time with us here today. Let the people know if they're local to you over in Ohio, maybe looking to make the move in or out. How can they get connected with you or any of the agents there? How can they find you guys?
Yeah. So sure. First of all, you can find me online, which will generally direct you to everything else, and that's at my website, eltondavisrealtor.com. If you go there, I have a blog that runs there. You can find all my social media links and pretty much everything. There's a book I have out on how I sell homes that others fail to sell. There's links to all of that there. So the website would be the hub to finding everything else. To reach me outside, if you're like me and kind of the old-fashioned way, you could pick up the telephone and you could give me a call. My personal cell phone number is 537-7827. Whether if you're in my area or not, if you're interested in buying or selling real estate, you've got questions, I'm a resource for you. And just give me a call and I'll be happy to answer any questions or help guide you in the right direction. And also for those agents out there that really wants to know what it takes to make it, give me a call. I'd love to talk to you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I mean, let the record show, from, not only what you've been able to grow, but what you were doing yourself before, having a broker, or before owning your brokerage, at least, doing 40 to 50 deals a year on your own is no easy task on its own.
Correct.
So, being able to produce, show other agents the way as you've, come along here over the past 25 years, that's awesome, Elton. So I really appreciate you sharing your story today, and we'll make sure to link everything down below.
Okay.
So if you guys want to get connected with Elton in any type of way, looking, to make a change, looking to take the next step in your real estate careers, we'll have everything linked down below there in the comments for you guys. But thank you so much for coming out again today, Elton. Appreciate it.
All right. Thank you. It's been great, and good luck to those out there.